The DMV Hoops Podcast.
This is Jonathan Scribner, head girls basketball coach at St. John's College High School, and this is the DMV Hoops Podcast.
Welcome to the DMV Hoops Podcast. I'm Kurt Cross, your host. Of course, we are at Captiol Hoops Summer League at DeMatha, where you get lots of talent, lots of teams. You have nonstop basketball. Today, we're on the big court. We're not going side courts today. We are going one main game per time slot on this court here at DeMatha. You can hear us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, wherever you get your podcast content. I believe, the DMV is the DMV, but you might be our first interview from out of state. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Coach Shawn Shreffler from Chambersburg. Coach, thanks for being here, sir.
Oh, thanks so much for having me.
Coach, I hate interviewing you after that game I just saw. It was a game of runs. I will say honestly, I've been here for, I think this is the close of week 3, maybe week 4. That was the best game we've seen this summer. You guys, as you know, you've coached long enough to know that basketball is a game of runs. They jumped out a little bit. You got back. They jumped out to 12 or 14. You came back, took the lead on either an and one or a layup there. And then towards the end, it just, they had a little bit more in the tank. You were able to quell their second unit. That first round of guys they had a little bit more energy. What did you see there?
I really like this game from the standpoint they play incredibly hard.
Right.
And they really came at us physically. And at halftime, we talked about how we need to be more physical. We need to impose our will a little bit more, compete harder. And I just basically told them how much I loved who we were playing against, because if we compete, we'll get better as a result of it.
Right. And
I thought we did that in the second half. We really competed, really got after it.
Now, Summer League doesn't count towards the state record books and all of that. What are you as a coach hoping to accomplish with your team over the summer?
Just like today, playing against great competition. That game that'll help us grow as a basketball team, understanding how hard you have to play, against good competition. I think we figured out a little bit, who we are. I thought in the first game today, this is our second game we played.
Right.
We did not shoot the ball well. I think we're 1 of 16 from 3.
Okay.
But I thought we shot quickly, way too quickly in possessions. Whereas this game, even though we made quite a few threes, I thought they came after a good many touches, side-to-side ball movement. And that was a step of growth for us from the first game to this game, just the quality of shots that we were taking at the offensive end of the floor and trying to get after it and compete defensively. But Landon made a lot of good shots. I don't follow them, during the winter time, but
right.
It appears to me that they have a chance to have a pretty nice season.
Well, so I follow them. My son is over there, and they graduated some great talent. We got one kid who's going to Harvard this year to play ball. So they're a little bit younger, but they got some dogs over there, and they fight after it. Coach, you've been around. My note card says this is your 28th or 29th season.
That's correct.
So you've seen the game evolve, as have I. My eyes have been on this game since the 80s. And you said you didn't shoot particularly well from 3. I feel that. How do we feel, and I don't know if I'm poking the bear, but how do we feel? I want big man basketball to come back. Am I barking up the wrong tree there?
No, I don't think so. Like, we talk all the time about the quality of shots. And I thought in that second half, we started going through our big, Landon Berman, not to be mistaken with the team Landon, number 15. And I thought he did an outstanding job of getting some easy buckets for us on the interior.
Right.
That's how we want to play. We want to play that inside-outside type basketball game. We're not a team that's going to jack up a lot of threes, although, quite a few of them drop for us on the second half of this game. We want to establish the paint buckets, getting to the foul line. I thought we did a great job of getting to the foul line in this game. We shot really well from the foul line as well. So if we can play with that toughness where we don't settle for jacking threes and we play through the paint, through our big guys, I think we can be a lot more successful than just jacking up threes early in possession.
Coach, you're coming from Chambersburg, which is not a heck of a long distance, but why this summer league instead of something more local to you maybe?
Well, for a number of years, we played at the St. Maria Goretti Summer League,
yes.
Hagerstown, Maryland. And
Yes.
their school closed down a couple years back, and we were looking for a summer league to play in. Last year we had a kid by the name of J.J. Kelly, who's at Ohio now. Really good basketball player, so I wanted to put us in a position where he would get a little bit of notoriety, and we had a quality team where we would get, competition and play against different opponents. And so we decided to come down here, and we liked it so much last year, they were like, hey, let's do it again.
And we talked about an hour ago, and you mentioned that we won't see you in the live period here, but you're going to Philly. You're taking a team there. This is not about this, live period here versus that one. That's a lot different than 25, 28 years ago, where, come, March 15th, March 16th, you're done until November, kind of, right?
Yeah.
Basketball's year-round. You get a chance, I don't know what the rules are in Pennsylvania, but the rules have changed here in Maryland a bit, where you get to do a little more coaching in the off-season than you used to be able to. How important is that off-season piece to what happens come November for your team?
Yeah, it's incredibly important. We talk all the time now about we need to be connected going into the fall, and then in the fall continue to grow even more and not wait until November 15th or December 7th or whatever that first, date is. If you wait that long, you're going to be behind the eight ball.
There were years ago where no one touched the ball until that first practice, right?
Absolutely, you're right. We do have a lot of guys who play other sports, and we encourage that. I think that's important. But now's the time where we have most of our guys, and we just want to try to get as connected as we possibly can in the time that we have playing in Summer League, and being able to go to Philly live is important as well. I had a coach reach out to me the other day and said, hey, saw you play, down at Captiol Hoops Summer League, and man, it was really nice to see such and such a player play, because when we watch them play AAU, he doesn't play the same way. And that's just so important now that with that live period, being able to have kids play with your team and show things that they're capable of doing that maybe they don't show at the AAU level. Well,
it looks like you didn't graduate a ton of guys. You're that rising junior heavy on the roster is what I have on my card here. Did you lose much last year?
Well, we lost J.J. Kelly, and we lost a couple other pieces that we'll have to replace, but we have a nice core coming back. And we had a kid who left us as a sophomore and didn't play last year, but now he's coming back. He had a really big game for us against Landon. That was number 21, I believe.
We were looking at him.
Grayson Kegaris.
We didn't see him miss too much in the paint.
So that'll be a great addition for us and allow us to just continue that continuity that we built off of last season.
Well, that sounds great. So you're up in Chambersburg. How did you do last year? I mean, I've got a note card here, and our staff here does a great job giving me a bunch of notes. I mean, you teach middle school. I see that.
I do, yeah.
You teach middle school. But how did you do last year? I don't have that on this card.
We were 20-7 last year.
Okay.
The year before we were 20-7 as well. For the past 4 years, we've gone to the state playoffs, which has never happened before in our program's history. So we have a run now of 4 straight state playoff appearances. We do well in our league. We finished second this past season. I think we play in a really good league. We had some really nice players in our league. So we're looking forward to this upcoming season, and hopefully we can get over the hump and win a league championship this year.
Now, we've got some tournaments and jamborees and things out here around the holidays. You might want to talk to some of our we'd love to see you back down here again. Please tell me that this summer league is not scheduling you during the week to come here, are they?
Actually, we do, but we play doubleheaders.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Like last year, we came down one night during a school night, and that was tough.
That's tough. Right?
You hit the Beltway, I believe it's called.
Yes.
It
Nothing
took us
fun.
a little bit longer than.
Are y'all coming down 270? Yeah, you're going 270 and 15, right?
Yeah, we come down.
Oh God. Oh,
Yep.
man, that ain't fun.
No.
Here's the place.
No, it wasn't bad today.
No, it's a Sunday.
Yeah.
Right. All right. No good. So you're not. Last year you lost some pieces, but you did well. We're hoping you do well again this year. So you have individuals. You are looking to do some things as a team. I don't know if this question is even valid because you've been there so long, but what are you learning about your coaching staff during Summer League?
Well, I have 2 of my sons helping me now with our staff, and my assistant coach has been around forever.
Okay.
And we continue to grow and evolve. we kind of knew who we've been the past 4 years, whereas this year we know who we are in our core, but we don't know what that depth is.
Okay.
And so this is a great opportunity for us to figure out who we are in that aspect. So basically I'm playing with 15 guys down here, but we're only bringing 10 at a time. So we've got a core group of guys who are coming all the time, and we're blending in those other 5 guys, on a game-by-game basis, so to speak. So we're trying to figure some things out with them, as well as grow, competitively with our core group of guys.
It's a hard foul, sorry.
So, sometimes it's hard to walk away and you're competitive, you want to win, but realistically, with maybe we're not as connected as what we will be.
Right.
You accept that a little bit because you're going to continue to grow.
2 more questions for you. Number 1, what does a successful summer league look like for you? When you come back in November, and of course you'll still see the guys. You'll probably check out some of their AAU stuff, but you want to end this. You want to raise a trophy, hopefully, but what does success look like to you? If you're able to accomplish what 2 or 3 things, then you feel like it was worth it.
I feel like for us, we have to understand shot selection a little bit. Like when we get wonky with our shot selection and shoot quickly and stuff like that, bad things normally happen going the other way. So we've got to figure that out at the offensive end of the floor. And I think defensively, we got to figure out how we can play a tough physical brand of basketball without fouling.
Okay.
And we don't have particularly big guys. We don't have big guys that people necessarily have to worry about in the paint, but I think we're big enough that we can score in the paint. We just can't live there.
Okay.
And how can we go in and out and play an offensive brand of basketball where we share the ball and we're getting quality shots each and every time down the floor? If we understand that shot selection piece, I think, and how to play defense with some toughness, I think we'll be really good heading into our season.
Okay, last question. I ask every coach this. Why should someone find themselves in Chambersburg, Pennsylvania in December watching your team play?
I think we're fun to watch. To me, when I watch basketball, the best thing to see is people sharing the ball. Like when you're sharing the ball and passing the ball and getting buckets by how you move the basketball, that's a beautiful thing to watch. And I'd like to think that, we don't play just a come down and jack up a 3 brand of basketball, that we work together, we screen for one another, we share the basketball, and if a guy's open, we make the extra pass to the open guy, whatever that may be. And so I think we play a brand of basketball that is fun to watch, and if we get after it and compete defensively, sacrifice our bodies a little bit, dive on the floor, take charges, we do things the right way. So people will enjoy and respect what our guys are doing out on the floor and how we play at both ends of the floor, unselfishly, sacrifice for one another, etc.
I do not put coaches in the hot seat, so I'm not asking you to tell me we're going to win it all this year, but how do you feel about 25-26?
I think we'll be in the mix. There's some really, really good basketball teams in our league. So I have a ton of respect for the coaches in our league and the teams in our league. But I'd like to think that we have an opportunity that if we show up, again, November 15th, and we've got some things cleaned up that we're more connected as a basketball team and we understand who we are better, then the gauntlet that is our league, we'll be more prepared for it, because it's hard to go through it if you're not prepared for it, because if you take a couple L's early on, it might be difficult to win the league. So you got to be ready coming out of the gates to get it done.
Well, you're here at the Captiol Hoops Summer League, so you're going through. You want some of this. This ain't easy down here.
No, it's not. It's awesome.
Folks, Chambersburg, Pennsylvania ain't that far. Shawn Shreffler is the coach out there of the Chambersburg Trojans. Coach, good luck to you the rest of the way here. I won't see you during the live period, but I will see you for, the rest of Summer League here. Folks, this is the DMV Hoops Podcast. You can find us on Amazon Podcast, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you get your podcast content. Coach, thanks for being here, and we'll see you folks next time.
Thank you so much.
The DMV Hoops Podcast is hosted by Kirk Cross, featuring Adam Crain. Thanks for listening.